Thanks. A blue alert active at this hour in Oklahoma and Texas for a man accused of being a part of a shooting last week at an ICE facility in Texas. The FBI is looking for Benjamin Song. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol says there is no credible information that he is in Oklahoma, but they say the alert is out for your safety. Song is considered armed and dangerous, and anyone with information should contact the FBI. New tonight, the Benton County Sheriff's Office releasing the name of the victim who died in a shooting in Rogers this morning. Deputies say 41-year-old Kevin Nickel was shot in the abdomen. It happened shortly after midnight near East Highway 12. Deputies say information is limited and were not able to give any details on who may have shot Nickel. A Charleston woman is suing the city of Fort Smith and its administrator, claiming they violated the Freedom of Information Act by delaying the release of public records connected to that Franklin County prison project. 5 News reporter Lauren Spencer spoke to her attorney about this case.
This isn't the first time City Administrator Jeff Dingman has been accused of mishandling public records. Marilyn Moore filed a request that focused on Fort Smith's possible role in supplying water to the proposed prison site. Her attorney says the public deserves answers. The lawsuit centered on emails and documents she requested about the state's plan to build a 3,000-bed prison in Franklin County. At one point, officials considered piping water nearly 30 miles from Fort Smith to the site. Moore's attorney, Joey McCutcheon, says the city initially claimed there weren't any records about it, but then handed over documents after multiple follow-ups. McCutcheon claims the city tried to cover up the delay by making it look like Moore's request came in late.
How's that going to affect the citizens of Fort Smith? Who's going to pay for this? Miss Moore wants questions. She asked for those important documents. He acted like they didn't exist. She persists, and finally, he gives her documents.
State leaders have since approved $50,000 to drill for water at the prison site. If that doesn't work, officials say there are other options. A spokesperson for the city of Fort Smith sent us a statement on the matter, saying, quote, in compliance with the Freedom of Information Act, we have provided all records responsive to Mrs. Moore's request. Lauren Spencer, 5 News.
All right, Lauren, thanks. A doctor at the center of a massive Medicaid fraud case supposed to be in court today, but we're told he didn't show up. Dr. Brian Hyatt, a former psychiatrist, was supposed to be in court while a judge determined whether he should be prohibited from drinking. After prosecutors made the request for alleged intoxication incidents, Dr. Hyatt was arrested again for DWI last week. The judge today waived Hyatt's appearance in Pulaski County Circuit Court. As of now, court records do not show a new hearing date for Dr. Hyatt. A Northwest Arkansas man is going through the awful process of getting treated for a possible rabies infection. Tonight, we're hearing from him and a local doctor on what you should do if you think you might be exposed. Aaron Cash was camping with his family at Beaver Lake about 2 weeks ago.
It was getting close to dark out, and the kids were swimming, and I was sitting there in a chair, watching them swim. And then this bat flew out of nowhere and just bit me on the leg and then just kept flying out over the lake.
Wasn't long after that, he was headed to the hospital.
I decided to go in straight to the hospital and start getting the rabies vaccine going.
Dr. Amrit Khalsa practices family medicine at Mercy Fort Smith. She says that's exactly what you should do.
The first thing, if you've been bitten, is you want to, one, seek medical attention immediately. Once you've done that, you've established that you're going to go to the hospital, contacted your doctor or your provider. You want to take a look at where you got bit, and you want to thoroughly cleanse the wound. Usually that means soap and water.
Dr. Khalsa says sometimes it's hard to tell if the animal that bit you is rabid.
Sometimes doctors will ask questions about whether the animal that bit you was provoked, what was the behavior of the animal right before it bit you. Sometimes that can provide a little bit more information as to whether the animal was rabid.
The only thing that I've been told and kind of on my own research is that, a bat's not going to just fly up and bite you unless it has rabies.
Then Dr. Khalsa says it's just a matter of getting treated.
The first part is they want to give you the rabies vaccine. It's a series of vaccines that you would need to return to get, which gives you protection. It takes time for your body to make the antibodies against that virus that will protect you from the virus if it's starting to take hold in the body. The second part is immunoglobulin. What that is that it helps to prevent infection immediately.
Cash says he's gone through part of that treatment.
So I had to do 4 the first day, and then Saturday is 5, and then Wednesday 6, and then it'll be set. So it'll be total of 7, overall.
Dr. Kulsa says it's very important to get treated right away to avoid getting encephalitis.
And that is a phase where you can get an inflammation of your brain lining. And that's when it gets really serious in terms of your symptoms, because you develop the classic hydrophobia or fear of water. You can get spasms of your throat, known as pharyngeal spasms, and leading to, coma, and then eventually asphyxiation, leading to death.
Cash says he's feeling just fine and will go back for his final vaccine injection next week. Meanwhile, hospitals are seeing an uptick in tick bites. CDC data shows emergency room treatments at their highest level since 2019. Greatest jump is in the northeast part of the country. Experts say environmental factors are behind this trend.
So we are having milder winters, wetter springs, which means for longer tick breeding seasons. We're also seeing ticks move into geographic areas where we have not seen them before. And all of this adds up to more tick exposure and more tick bites.
Some helpful ways to keep the ticks at bay: wear light colored clothing, keep arms and legs covered, wear closed-toed shoes, and use insect repellent. Home vacancies in Arkansas among some of the highest in the nation. A recent study by Lending Tree ranks the natural state 10th in the U.S. Researchers say properties for rent and for sale and even vacation homes make up nearly 193,000 empty units across Arkansas. Realtors say some of the issues are people not being able to afford the homes that are available.
Vacancies that we're probably seeing that are more public would be if a rental goes out and the price is too high. There is a niche in the market right now where people can't afford certain rentals that are available.
Local real estate experts warn that high cost and limited development could worsen the housing crisis. President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump met with rescue workers, survivors, and family members who lost loved ones in Texas. Erica Brown tells us the death toll in the state now stands at 121, but more than 170 are still missing, and that figure is likely to climb.
It's hard to believe the devastation.
President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump surveyed the destruction Friday after catastrophic flooding swept through central Texas.
Our nation, we mourn for every single life that was swept away in the flood, and we pray for the families that are left behind.
Trump spoke about the victims, including those at Camp Mystic, where at least 27 girl campers and counselors died in the flash floods.
A lot of lives, a lot of young angels.
Meeting with first responders and state and local officials at an emergency operations center, the president was asked about the flood-prone area's preparedness, including its lack of an early warning siren system.
You'll probably come up with something very unique because there is no system right now.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott visited a memorial for the victims and said state lawmakers will soon discuss plans for a disaster warning system.
We are going to put together in a session beginning in 10 days the abilities to ensure better preparation, better alerts, so that people will not be surprised like they were this time.
Patrick Turk, a program director with Texas Search and Rescue, says his team has been there since July 4th.
Not only is it a difficult task to see somebody that maybe is deceased or somebody who's struggling physically, but it's just with our searchers, it's the day-to-day grind of doing it every day.
As rescue, relief, and recovery efforts continue, the Salvation Army in Kerrville welcomed a team of therapy dogs. The dogs traveled nearly 300 miles from Houston with church group volunteers to make a difference. Erica Brown, CBS News.
More than 2,000 local, state, and federal workers are now involved in the search for victims. Well, this weekend marks 1 year since the assassination attempt on the president in Butler, Pennsylvania. Gunmen opened fire during a campaign rally there, grazing Mr. Trump's ear. This week, the Secret Service agency suspended 6 agents without pay in connection with the security failure. The agency also made other changes, including upgrades that allow agents to communicate directly with radio with local law enforcement.
I think they've looked inward and looked in a reflective way of what went wrong, obviously, at Butler, and it was completely ill in terms of the way that advance was done. I think we all know that.
One person died, 2 others were wounded in the attack before a Secret Service sniper killed the gunman.